Brett Forrest, only on KOAA News 5.
Good afternoon, I'm Brett Forrest. We are cutting into programming with breaking news. 2 wildfires burning in El Paso County right now. A new fire on the west side of Colorado Springs. Thanks for watching News 5 on your Sunday night. I'm Brett Forrest. The FBI is calling the attack in Boulder an act of terrorism after 6 people were sent to the hospital. Thanks for staying with us. I'm Brett Forrest. We start tonight with this. And that was Tony Kovaleski reporting from our sister station Denver 7, who does join us now. And Tony, you just got off the phone, you tell me, with a well-placed DEA source. What new information are you learning right now? And then you go up to the center of the state, east of Colorado Springs, pretty much east all the way to the Kansas border. Look at all that red. It's just a mess. Highway 24, both directions remain closed. And Jay, I just have to ask, it looks like you're wearing a fencing outfit. Correct me if I'm wrong. Tell me more about that outfit right now.
Brett, I mean, it's something that we had a little bit of fun with.
And I'm Brett Forrest. While the presidential election is certainly the big story nationally, here at home, you'll have a lot more to decide on. Diane, good evening. So I just spoke to Adam Frisch and his campaign. They're both telling me they'd be equally surprised if there is or is not a winner declared tonight. They're not expecting one. They want to temper expectations. And it also serves as a warning, though, because we have these 2 fires burning simultaneously. 40 personnel were at this west side fire she mentioned. So crews could be spread thin pretty quickly if any more were to pop up or if these were to grow any faster. 'Twas the Friday before Christmas, and all through the town, travelers are heading out for the holidays from the skies and the ground. Good evening, and thank you for joining us. I'm Brett Forrest.
And I'm Kristen Drummond.
News 3 is your weather authority. Let's check in with meteorologist Ophelia Young. Sounds like we might lose our hats or not get a good hair day if we're outside right now.
Yeah, definitely not a good day. It's ponytail day. How's that? You look good in a ponytail, Brett.
I don't think I can do that, but I'll try.
No, yeah, you could try.
It is quite windy down here, which is making for nightmarish fire conditions, but you can see part of the fire behind me. The flames keep whipping up. It is moving fast. I mean, to put it bluntly, are you saying the voters, the constituents just aren't smart enough to understand the difference between the two?
No, and I've answered emails exactly like this.
We are the only Las Vegas news station to sit down with the secretary, and he's just the latest political heavyweight to hit town this election season.
There's a lot at stake.
That's my first question. Are you the legitimate chairman of the party compared to what others are still saying at this point?
Yes, last weekend the Colorado Republican Party met.
This seat has never been held by a Democrat, and according to your recent FEC filing this week, campaign contributions aren't exactly pouring into this race. Can you realistically win the seat, and do you think this race is a priority for the Democratic Party? And we have learned that Solomon has an address in the Cimarron Hills area of Colorado Springs near Constitution and Mark Scheffel. Law enforcement have been there all evening looking through what we believe is his home. And that's where we find our Noah Kaplan. Noah, you've been out there all evening, so what's the scene been like? What are neighbors saying? What are you seeing out there right now?
Well, Brett, as you can see, the scene remains pretty active.
Thank you, Noah, for being live out there for us. Colette Bordelon with the Scripps News Group in Denver has been in Boulder all day. She joins us now with more on what officials have to say on the investigation. The measles outbreak has hit El Paso County, the first in our county, bringing the state total up to 10 cases in 2025. The Department of Public Health and Environment says this happened to 2 unvaccinated adults who were at the Denver International Airport around the same time on May 14th. That's now 6 cases in the state that came from the same out-of-state traveler. And we were able to see the aurora borealis twice last year, but meteorologist Casey Dorn says tonight's solar storm, we might have already missed it. Casey, that's some sad news. Tell us what happened there.
Brett?
Casey Dorn, we'll check back in. The Pentagon wants members of the military to move less often, staying on their assignments for longer periods of time. That's according to a new Department of Defense memo. These military moves obviously are a big aspect of life here in Colorado Springs, bringing soldiers and families in and sending just as many away. So what would the effects of this major change be?
I literally followed my heart to Colorado Springs when he got stationed at Fort Carson, Colorado.
That's Kimberly Gold. You might recognize her as one of Colorado Springs' newest city council members, but she's also a military child turned military spouse, meaning she moved around a lot.
All the way from Fort Stewart, Georgia, which is South Georgia, to Fort Richardson, Alaska.
So she knows the toll the military life can take on soldiers, on spouses, on families.
Most military families out of pocket are spending upwards of $5,000 for each military move. Now, multiply that by 10 military moves or even 8 military moves. And then you think about the lack of stabilization without being able to purchase a home, not knowing how long you're going to be there.
But that military lifestyle might soon be changing. The Department of Defense releasing this memo asking military departments to develop proposals to gradually reduce the overall frequency of PCS moves or permanent change of station by 50% in the next 5 years, a cost-cutting measure since these moves cost $5 billion annually.
So a PCS move is where you move around the country to a new duty station. You usually take on a new job. It is there to kind of broaden and develop the leadership and the units and share techniques and tactics.
That's Jason Anderson, a former Army aviation officer now working real estate for his company, Veteran PCS, helping military families with their moves around the country. It's a topic he knows well, saying one big downside of PCS moves are underemployed military spouses.
When you're interviewing for a job, a lot of times, they will not hire a military spouse because they know that there's no longevity.
They don't see you for what you could bring to an organization. They are immediately thinking, how am I going to replace you?
Kimberly Gold says less moving would be a net positive for big military hubs like Colorado Springs.
A positive benefit to our city to really see more of our military families and more of our active duty folks to be involved in the community.
And Jason Anderson thinks it would help stabilize the housing market and boost the local economy.
Okay, there's less people moving in, but there's also an equal amount of people that are not moving out.
And elected leaders like Congressman Jeff Crank also seem to be in support.
If you can do that without affecting readiness, that's a win-win for our military. I think it helps us on retention.
Now, the military branches have about 120 days or 4 months to provide their plans to the DoD about how they'll make this directive a reality. Local food trucks going head-to-head today. It was the 3rd annual 719 Battle of the Food Trucks. Each made a dish for diners to vote their favorite. It's also a fundraiser with a portion of ticket sales going to Angels of America's Fallen. News 5's photojournalist Connor Fay gets you up close with 2 competitors' dishes.